Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another match of the Bunnings NPC. This one, though, a little bit of extra oomph to it, and that is because it is the Ranfurly Shield contest. Waikato recently winning it up against Taranaki, and now Southland, who are on a little bit of a tear in this year's NPC comp, get the opportunity to take it back down south for this competition. But looking through at the starting lineup, it gets a little bit trickier for the Southland Stags as there are reinforcements that have arrived for this Waikato side. Ollie Norris, after being with the All Blacks, he is back into the starting lineup as the loose head prop. In the number 2 jersey, it is Boyle Tiatia, and number 3, George Dyer, players right on that fringe of making his way into the ABs. Harrison Burr in that Hamilton Burr in that number 4 jersey alongside Eti at 5. Sama Penny-Fee now slotting in at 6. Luakai 7 and Luke Jacobson after a 5-week absence from the All Blacks. He will be slotting in as that number 8. Xavier Rowe in the number 9 jersey. We don't know the extent of the injury of Cortez Ratama as of yet. Perhaps Rowe could find himself in that All Black squad. Lima Sopawanga, the experienced veteran, the man who knocked over that kick that won them the game up against Taranaki. Gideon Rappling in the midfield alongside Anton Leonard-Brown, who returns from yet again another injury from the All Black season. Josh Morby out on the left wing, Ollie Mathis out on the right, and Liam Coons-Fabling as the number 15. It does not get much stronger than this when you look through at a Waikato NPC side. And the thing is, it's also raining. So whether or not that affects how this side plays, we will soon know. But some physical forwards, some really quick backs alongside an experienced veteran in that number 10 jersey for the Southland Stags. It won't put this side off. They will be ready for the challenge. In the front row, Hunter Fahey alongside Jack Taylor at 2 and Morgan Mitchell slotting in as the number 3. Mitchell Dunshay alongside Aho as that number 4 and 5 combo. Sean Whiffy, that man's been outstanding throughout this season and definitely one to keep an eye on out there on the park. Va Tausili as the number 7 with Tupo Tailoa slotting in as the number 8. He's a dangerous ball runner. We saw him all throughout Moana Pacifica's season do absolutely phenomenally. It's almost raining sideways at the moment, we are seeing at FMG Stadium. Shearer as the 9, Muliaina as the number 10, Penny alongside Wanga in that 12 and 13 jersey, and then Morgan, Harvey and Manson as that number 15. But 28 kilometres of wind, 12 degrees, that is the maximum temperature, but I don't think they'll be too concerned about the temperature out there. It's more so how wet the field is going to be. It will be slippery. We see 2 wins in a row for Southland. They, I believe, haven't won 3 games in a row in a Bunnings NPC competition in a very long time. So this is their chance. And if they were to do it, they'd take that shield home with them back down south. And at this match, we have got their Southland by 1 or more would be great. Thanks, says Studs Race. Southland to win 21 points to 16. So we don't have our 2 All Blacks, says Highlanders fan. How massive would it have been if the Southland Stags could have had Ethan de Groot and Fabian Holland in their mix for this game? Of course, Waikato bringing in the reinforcements. They've got about 3 or 4 players from the All Blacks back into their side. So Southland, if they weren't already the underdog, that just adds that little bit of an extra level on top. But with some of the form that we've seen from said All Blacks, you know, someone like an Anton Leonard-Brown, that man has been collecting yellow cards like their Pokemon cards. So if he ends up getting suspended, or maybe not suspended, but a yellow card some point throughout this game, you've got someone like a Sama Penny-Fee now. He's been fighting for that number 6 jersey, but Tupo Vai keeps on taking it off him. Ollie Norris, he's been pretty good though, to be fair to him. That's probably where they needed to have someone up front like a Ethan de Groot just to be able to control that front row up against Dyer. Sama Penny was about 5 seats from me while watching the women's game. He was eating sushi. Well, there you go. Man's had his feed. He'll be ready to go then for this matchup. Did you talk to him, Novmum, or did you just watch him eat his sushi? Good for you, Hamish. NPC action. Go mighty Waikato Mulus. Don't drop shield raining. It's hurricane weather in Auckland at the moment. Says high life. Yeah, there's been some pretty brutal weather around the way. We have got their Stags out now, says Novmum. We have got there, I don't know anything about the Ranfurly Shield, who's going to win. So in this match, Southland are about $6.50 underdogs. Now, they are actually having a moment's silence for Shane Christie. There was a game earlier on this week that was... What game was that we were covering where the guy chucked up the fin? Was that in the Curry Cup game, maybe? That we did see a fin actually put up by one of the old New Zealand teammates of Chrissy, I believe. We have got there, I reckon, Southland. Says Dylan there, and Tasman versus Otago, says Highlanders. Ranfurly Shield is the holy grail to domestic level rugby in New Zealand. Says High Life, yeah, everybody wants to get that shield in hand. The question is whether or not Southland can keep on causing upsets. Like I mentioned, 2 wins in a row. It had been such a long time since they had achieved a feat like that. Ben O'Keefe, he is the referee in charge of this one. Aaron Patterson on the TMO. Just about ready to rumble for this contest. It is raining, it is pouring, but the action will be thick and fast for this matchup. And just in case you haven't noticed, I'm quite excited about this game. This one should be an absolutely awesome one. See whether or not Southland can do it. Good morning, Hamish. I'm going to tell some jokes today to make your day more fun. I did see that you were doing the same for Vic and Vern's stream early on for the Australia versus USA one. We have got there our All Blacks, De Groot and Sevu, not Holland. Who does Holland play for? Is he Otago for the NPC? Who does Fabian Holland play for in NPC rugby? I feel like that bloke's just kind of popped out of nowhere for the Landers, and then all of a sudden, he is all of a sudden the superstar. But that's going to be kicked downfield. Oh, drop ball from Southland at the back, and Luke Jacobson gets the carry. Thank God it's not Nick Berry. We have a bunch of All Blacks back, says iLife. Yeah, Sevu Reece could have been a handy one out on the wing, and I do actually think, I watched some of that Auckland versus Wellington game. I looked through at the stats. So the question for you guys, anyone who watched that game, do you think Caleb Clark's done enough to get that number 11 jersey up against the box? Because I would actually say yes. He had the most carries out of any player throughout that contest. He beat 6 defenders. He scored himself a try. He had 55 metres carried. I think you got to chuck him straight back in just for that aerial ability alone. Maybe Ioane off the bench, if that's the way that they're going to be going. But Xavier Rowe now playing halfback. Is he going to be in the question for this All Black side? Now Rowe on the halfway line, going back across to the left. It'll pop pass up. Anton Lennon-Brown goes to Sopawanga on the outside, finds Jacobson. What a back line that is when you can start saying those names along the way. Across on the inside. Run forward from Boyle Tia. Oh, that's a big clean out from George Dyer. The big jumping, almost barrel roll. It's a forward pass from Ollie Norris right in front of Ben O'Keefe, who said, man, we're not doing those yet. Now Rowe back into the pocket. Kicked high from Liam Coons-Fabling. I can't believe that wasn't a forward pass. Now Southland in possession, 22 metres out from their own line. Dropping the head and running it forward. Now this is where Southland, they have to try and control the game early. Although we have seen from some of their other NPC games, they can be behind and they don't mind. They will just come back in the second half. A little bit similar to what we see for the Boland Cavaliers in the Curry Cup at the moment. Kick downfield from Shearer. Aerial challenge. Going to be slapped back onto the side of the Southland Stags, who now have a bit of a counter-attacking opportunity. Booted downfield by Penny. And that one's just going to roll out before the 22-metre line. A decent boot downfield. Look at their pick Clark now. We can't expect miracles if coaches don't adopt or adapt, says Studs Rays. Yeah, it's a tricky one, to be honest, but I do think that's something New Zealand need to be aware of, is that aerial game of South Africa. We saw so many times that Colby, as well as Kane and Moody, were able to retain that ball. New Zealand only had 2 kicks that they were able to retain that were contestable throughout that contest. Another penalty, this time going the way of Southland. A side entry. Seen a lot of that throughout this week. I was getting it slightly wrong, but it does now mean Southland have a big decision to make. When you've got 29 kilometres of wind, I don't think they're going to bother going for the post. They have to kick for the corner here. We're not consistent. It's so bad. Where Harbour Bridge has warnings, says High Life. And I could see Clark and Tangital being AB's pair in the near future, says it, man. And we have got there, if Samoa beat Fiji next week and they go through, says Kings Island, they would have to beat them by a very large margin. So, yeah, there's a lot of work to be done. Or actually, to be fair, it wouldn't have to be an absolutely massive margin, but there's still a little bit that they have to do. I'll get the exact differential that they need. There's going to be an advantage now. Southland 5 metres out from the line. Mitchell Dunshay going away to the left-hand side. Shearer pops it up. This is where Sean Whiffy loves to get a pick and go going, but for now he's joining into the breakdown. Tupo Tailoa was ready for another advantage. This time going against Jacobson, almost getting over the line. They will go back for that penalty as well. And up the Manu, says King's Eye on. And what's the worst thing you can do to a blind person is leave the plunger in the toilet from Manus. Well, that's certainly an image. We have got there, come on, Samoa, win next week. Says King's Eye on. But now, what do they do here, Southland? Looks like they are going to once again consider that quick tapping option. Like Muliaina. Oh no, in fact, calling for the kicking tee. So this is an early three-pointer that they have decided to take, Southland. This is intriguing. Of course, you want points on the board when it is a Ranfurly Shield contest. There's no denying that. But with the repeat infringements from Waikato there, could they have found their way sneaking through? Got an early try or perhaps even a yellow card against the opposition. Or sorry, Byron Smith actually in that number 10 jersey, I should say. And does get that kick over. 5 minutes into the contest, 3 points to 0. Got a bit of room here and off he goes. So here's the What's Up Guys podcast. Some Southland supporters in the stands by the looks of it. Got the beverages in hands. Southland Stags logo on the chest. Lima Sopawonga ready to kick this one off. Still wears that heavily strapped left knee after he hurt himself in the Auckland game for the first one. And takes the lead. Come on the Stags. Says Studs race. Step in there. Tane Harvey. Big driving tackle on him by Anton Leonard-Brown and Summer Penny Fee now. The fact that Southland are leading at any point in this game as big underdogs is probably a massive... Well, it's an achievement in its own right, but yes, it's still very early. But, Southland have shown some real grit throughout the season. And to be fair, they normally do. They never have that same level of players as some of the other big teams, but they just love a fight. Going out there, playing for that jersey. Looks like they're ready to throw this one in now for Boyle Tia. And back across to the right-hand side, Lima Sopawong, a little offload up the back. Now just losing the footing there was Gideon Rappling. I got some Southland supporters behind me, and for the non-natives, Ranfurly Shield doesn't change hands on a draw. Says High Life there. And yeah, that is one thing that could be on the cards today with some of the close games we've seen in the NPC recently. Anton Leonard-Brown having his first carry of the day. Now another nice step from Gideon Rappling. I remember 2001 Ranfurly Shield days with Bay of Plenty. Says High Life. Now Jacobson. Rowe decides against trying to milk the penalty by passing it into the man on the ground. And a steal there for Sean With. He gets over the ball. No clear release there from Waikato. But Sean Withy, he's been an outstanding player for the Southland side. Always manages to step up. He does well for the Highlanders. It's evening. Little Johnny and his friend are sitting by a campfire. They've been plagued by swarms of mosquitoes already for an hour. And the assault only worsens when the darkness sets in. Surely that's not the end of the joke, is it? We have got there, how can I watch the actual game? Sky Sport here in New Zealand is a fantastic option. I believe Stan Sport also have the NPC, but pretty much every option for being able to watch it is through paid options. Sadly, the NPC, they don't normally show it free to air, not at least live anyway. Sky Sport, not sure if it's on the on the TVNZ. Does NPC still do sudden death overtime? Mind blank. I believe they do, but in this case, I think... NPC might just go to the draw. I know Super Rugby, they do the overtime. I'll have a quick look here. But then I guess after that overtime, you can go to a draw anyway. I do think they do Golden Point, though. Maybe. We haven't really seen anyone go there for a little while now. It's going to be kicked in behind. Chance here for Waikato. Running onto it was Lima Sopawong. A great chop and tackle on him by Tane Harvey. Xavier Road back across to the right-hand side. Now, hands of the Waikato loose forward. They're 38 metres out from the line. And no NPC has always been a draw. Says High Live now kicked downfield. Nicely controlled at the back. And Byron Smith with the kick downfield. At the moment, we're playing a little bit of aerial force back. And Waikato inside of their 22. It's never been on to Golden Point. Yeah, so it must be the Super Rugby side of things. We're getting confused there. Now we're close to hitting the Sky Sport camera on the sideline, but it will be now 48 metres out from the line. Chance here for the Southland line out. Jack Taylor throw this ball in. He also took a big step to the side to make sure he was slightly closer to his teammate. You notice those things in the line out every once in a while. It's going to be thrown in, nicely claimed by Sean Whiffy, who had to jump up like it was the under-9s to be able to claim that one. No real lift coming from either side. Now 40 metres out from their own line, Southland. They will go back away to the left-hand side with Shearer. Passing it over to Fahey. I was certain I've watched NPC Golden Points. Can't remember when. Must have been wrong since Stud's race. Yes, yeah, I know we've had a few Super Rugby ones. The first one that I can think of for Super Rugby was the Reds versus Hurricanes when Basilio Tosi got himself that last-minute try. Trying to think of what other games we've had that have gone to Golden Point in recent times, Super Rugby-wise. There was one last season, wasn't there? That ended up being extremely close. Western Force versus Hurricanes, it might have been. And ended in a draw after the 10 minutes. Now kick downfield from Waikato again. Decent one from Xavier Rowe. Smith. Is it back across? And once again, we're back to this kicking battle. Lema Sopawonga looking to kick this one in behind. Looking for the angle for a 50-22. But back covering again. Oh, a little bit of a slip over there. Or Fletcher Morgan. And gets it into touch. It wasn't out on the full either. So he is all good. Oh, quick throw taken by Waikato. That one's gone backwards. Anton Leonard-Brown decides to kick this one down the middle of the field. Nicely taken by Southland at the back. At the moment, we are just watching a repetitive, when someone has the remote, they just keep on rolling back about 30 seconds, then doing it again, press and play. It's what we've seen for the past about 3 minutes, just the kicking battle. No one really going too far forward. Waikato were deep inside of their own area, but then Southland seemed to lose that advantage in that department for a second. In the end, it will be the line out, though, for Waikato, sitting about maybe 48 metres from their line. Forcebacks, here's High Life. I've watched NPC Rugby since 1990. Never has. Here's High Life. I've been watching since 1983, which doesn't mean I know more than anyone. Here's Stud's race. And we had the closest game earlier today in the World Cup. Yeah, an extremely close game. In the end, a draw between Australia and the USA. For that one, looks like a bit of an injury here for Hunter Fahey. Just going to see the contact. Oh, It's on the chin from Luke Jacobson, but he was ducking forward. Now, Fiji got themselves a yellow card for that in their game up against Scotland. Yet this one, they don't even look at it for a penalty or anything. I feel like Fiji slightly got hard done by. We've got previous comment from Manus, which was, have you read my previous comment? So I guess we'll have to go back, won't we? We have got suddenly fire appears and little Johnny exclaims, these darn mosquitoes. Now they've even brought lanterns with them to find us. There you go. I think because there was about a 5-minute gap between reading both, it did lose its oomph. Oh, a little bit of a mistake there at the back for Southland inside of their own in-goal area and just forcing that ball down. No option for Fletcher Morgan. And a little bit of afters there from one of the Waikato players, getting in his face, letting him know what mistake he made. He does apologise to his teammates, but a fantastic kick from Xavier Rowe to get it in behind there. Now it puts Waikato in the perfect position on the field. No, it just means they don't know NPC rugby. Says High Life. Although, to be fair, it is an easy mistake to make because the amount of different competitions with the amount of different rules, Super Rugby, you've got the 3 or more tries than your opposition. The Rugby Championship the same. Then pretty much 90% of other competitions, they don't even bother with that type of thing. It's just 4 tries and you get yourself a bonus. Oh, big push there. Coming from Southland. Oh, and that did really fire up Ollie Norris. He sits down one of the Southland players and says, no, we're not doing that. It's a bit of an ego going on between these two scrums by the looks. So Sean Whiffy and Ollie Norris having a bit of a laugh with each other there. Yeah, a little bit of feeling out there for this match. The Ranfurly Shield, it always seems to bring it out of the sides. Okay. Keith, he's given the penalty to Waikato. He said, no, we're not doing that. So Jack Taylor decided to try and follow up a little bit and try and pump his chest a bit more. And now Waikato have themselves a 5-metre penalty. If Southland weren't already up against it, making, let's just be honest, dumb decisions like that, they're not taking anything home with them. But now Waikato, this is a golden opportunity. And, Keith straight away saying we're not having any of that in our scrums. So now, Penalty is in favour of Waikato, who have got the scrum feed. They've got 91% scrum success. They won 20 out of their 20 out of their 2 that they have gone with. There's one, Xavier Rowe. Now rolling this one back to the left-hand side, Lema Sopawonga. Sit in 5 metres out from the try line. Rowe doesn't give it to Leonard Brown. Pop pass up to Jacobson, who will be just the 1 metre short of the try line. Southland all but getting themselves the steal in the breakdown. Fee now popping it up. Boyle Tia, 2 metres from the try line here. Waikato looking to break their way through. Xavier Rowe tries the cross kick. That was a weird tactic. It's going to go out, but they already had the penalty advantage for offside, so they will be able to go back for it. And this is all fatiguing for Southland at a time that they probably didn't need for it to be. Now 14 and a half minutes through, so we will update that score. Or not the score. We might have to update it soon, though, depending on how Waikato go. Looks like they're going to kick this one for the corner. Limasopowanga does get the call from the captain. Take the scrum, boys. I was out boating on a lake when I saw the round head of a dog in the middle of the lake. I couldn't believe it. I could barely even see the shore where I was. Is that a joke or just a statement? I feel like that's just a statement, isn't it? But now, getting a rolling maul going. Trying to break off the back. Boyle Tia. Almost over, but I think it might be just about held up. Ben O'Keefe looking for a grounding. They may go upstairs for this one. We have got all of that, says High Life. And there as well. Okay. Boyle Tia looks kind of happy. I'll be honest. He's got a bit of a smile on his face. On-field decision is no try. As Ben O'Keefe said, there was just about enough evidence to say that he was held up. But I don't believe there was a clear grounding seen by Ben O'Keefe or even really seeing that ball in that breakdown. We have this weird guy from Vic Vern showing muted for being creepy, says High Life. Right, the on-field call is no try here. Just waiting to see if there's any sort of... Right, that ball is down there. Oh, tell you what, that looks pretty close to being down. Unless maybe it's just underneath someone's arm here. Okay. Ball was on the ground. And Waikato will get the first try of this contest. Just like that. They are back into it. Their first Shield defence. To beating Taranaki by the 1 point. We know how close these Ranfurly Shield games can be. Those crucial little moments almost held up. Just about down as well. Just tilting that ball forward. Now Lema Sopawanga. Important for the kicking tee here to get it 100%. Cowbells rings. Says High Life. Now, we were playing around with the sound effects last night on the Curry Cup live stream. I should have had a cowbell for this one, and maybe what noise does a stag make? I should have had that as a noise as well when they score. G'day, fellas. Says the big VHO. Welcome in, mate. Hope you're doing extremely well. Now, Sopawanga does get that one over, making the score now 7 points to 3 in favour of Waikato. Yeah, that angle looks a lot better, actually. They found one that was from behind. Who do you want to win? Says Paula. Well, the thing is, it's always nice to see an upset, right? But at the same time, Waikato, they don't want to just hold the Shield for a week. I feel like that's pretty rough. It's finding that happy medium. But, from what Southland have done their last 2 games, if they could win this game, they would thoroughly deserve it. Because, winning 2 games that they were actually, I believe, underdogs for both of them. Now, nice attack and run again forward. So in there, about 40 metres out from the line with Tupotaeloa. Shearer going back across the Dunshea with the blatant 4 pass in front of Ben O'Keefe. Is he not calling those today? That's now 2 that we've seen that have been forward by about a metre. And yet about 4 All Blacks in the Waikato squad. Yeah, so the All Blacks in Waikato's team is Ollie Norris. They've got Summer Penny Fee now, Luke Jacobson, and also Anton Leonard-Brown. So, yeah, they're in good stocks at the moment in this Waikato team. No releases for the Southland side, and that is going to be an NPC penalty, or a Waikato penalty, I should say. Ollie Norris in the breakdown, ball carrier holding on, nicely done. He hasn't had a huge amount of opportunity to do that in the All Blacks kit as of yet. He's been off the bench alongside Basilio Otosi. I used to watch Southland in the old days. We could run on the field and get autographs. I got Frank Oliver, Lester Rutledge, Brian McKinney, and the legend Frank Oliver. Says Marcus, geez, that is the old school days, isn't it? That's the thing. Back then, the NPC, you know, it sounds bad to say, but it meant a lot more, didn't it? You know, regional rugby was almost the pinnacle, you know, for a lot of players. At the end of the day, you know, you ripped your jersey wherever you were around the country, and, you know, the crowds in the old school NPC games were absolutely phenomenal. You know, we see this stand in the background at FMG. Now, of course, it is absolutely bucketing down, so that doesn't help, but there's probably I've seen 3 people in one section of the stand in the background. Now Xavier Rowe moving up to about 20 metres out. Luke Jacobson now going to be taking that one. Now Rowe back across to the right-hand side. Anton Leonard-Brown almost steps through, but a great low tackle made by Tupotai Loa. Now Xavier Rowe. Back across, Ollie Mathis. Another guy who some people have felt maybe has a chance in the future making it into the ABs. He has been in the 7 setup before. Alongside the likes of a Leroy Carter or a Fihi Whinia Norfo. I haven't actually seen how Leroy went over the weekend. I know that Amoni Narawa had heavy strapping on his thigh for that game of the Bunnings NPC, so I don't know whether or not that is an injury-related one. Now popping it up to the right-hand side. George Dyer, big contact on him. Haven't seen Anton Leonard-Brown's name in recent AB's team sheets. He did play in the second game up against Argentina, got himself yellow carded within a few minutes of making his way onto the field. Oh, no, in fact, that might have been the game prior, sorry. Yeah, no. Oh, was it the game prior? No, it might have actually been that most recent one. Or was it? No, because Quinn Tupaia was... Which game was Quinn Tupaia off the bench? Was that the first or the second? He was in one of those 2 games and got a yellow card for something really silly. Might have been the second one. Oh, my bad. See the big VHLO from the US says Wonder Davey. Welcome in. Hope you're doing extremely well. We have got a new channel member as well. And I want to say it's Louisa. Hopefully I've said that correctly, but thank you very much. You now have access to those emojis in the chat. Now it looks like Lima Sopawanga has access to the posts here. Nice easy kick out in front. Be able to add the extra 2 points here for Waikato. George Dyer, big collision there, and then just not quite rolling away quick enough for Morgan Mitchell. NPC Rugby was better than most international rugby. Imagine a Ranfurly Shield game with 2 teams packed with ABs. Says Studs Rays. And we have got there, read 2 comments, or previous 2 comments, please, from Marnus. So they were read previous 2 comments and read previous 2 comments from Marnus there. Their second, I think, says High Life. That kick has gone over. That is now going to make the score 10 points to 3 in favour of Waikato. Looks like maybe a bit of an injury here for one of the Southland forwards too. It's taking a little bit longer to get his feet back underneath him. Remember, game 3, yellow cards. Yeah, that game, Anton Leonard-Brown. Yeah, because he got one, Reese got one, and Tupovai. Oh, wait. Reese got one. Tupovai got one, Will Jordan got one. I think Leonard-Brown's might have been the first match, wasn't it? There he ended up getting one up against the Argentines, even though New Zealand won. Because he ended up getting concussed, which is why he didn't play in the next match, I believe. I got Sergi Blanco's autograph, says Marcus. Or Sergei, I think it is. And then the previous 2 comments from the joke. Says Marnus, I'll probably end up reading the joke after because I did see that they were quite long, which are quite hard to read in between doing the commentary as well. Normally the short, snappy comments are the easier ones to try and get through. And Marnus still demanding to read chat. Most YouTubers, you don't get acknowledged. Hamish doesn't have to. Says I Life, that one's going to be kicked at a touch by Southland, sitting about 25 metres out from the line now. Waikato with another attacking chance. Just trying to get rid of that pressure was Nick Shearer, but Waikato are starting to find their rhythm in this game. 21 minutes through. Now another line out going up for that one with Sean Whiffy, and he's done enough to get it onto the side of Southland. Now Shearer going with the quick gap or kick in behind. You haven't heard of Sergei Blanco, a French rugby god from the 1980s. I actually haven't, believe it or not. It was slightly before my time. One's going to go high. I'm also terrible with French player names. Like, even now, I suck at naming those French players. So I wouldn't say it's anything personal against the French. But, yeah, I just can't handle them. Frog in a smog. Or Frog in the Smog. Is that his nickname? That's quite a cool nickname, to be fair. Sopawanga getting the offload to Anton Leonard Brown. There's a slight knock on there. I got no sound effects for this game, says Caitlin. Do you think we need the sound effects? I got the sound effects board. Of course, Nico. Hopefully he's not watching because he got very angry last night at the thought of even some sounds. We'll do a little quick punch. Did that make the noise? That one did. There we go. I found a sound effects board, ladies and gents, yesterday on my streaming software, and since then, Borderland versus Sharks was absolutely spammed for the last 20 minutes with random sound effects. Waikato, it just seemed like at the moment they're still finding their rhythm. Of course, with so many changes in their team, the fact that they have got all the All Blacks back in, it will take a bit more time to be able to kind of get that train rolling. You shouldn't have brought up the sound effects. Now I'm going to have too much fun with it. Now 40 metres out from their own line, Southland. Ball, like Jacobson, thought about going for the steal. Sergei Blanco was a total legend. Guy smoked more than a pack a day. Says I lollipop. Was that what made him a legend, or the fact that he was good at rugby? I assume the rugby one. Blanco possibly the best fullback in the 1980s World Rugby. Says studs race and perfection, says Caitlin. I should say that one's going to be kicked out on the full from Southland. It's a bit of a mistake. And they've decided to go quickly again here, Waikato. They love to move that ball around when they get the chance. Now Matt Wanga with a wide cutout pass goes over the top. Little bit of a slip there from Fletcher Morgan. Trying to get his way just a little bit more inward. Oh, bit of a push there in the breakdown. It didn't do a lot. Didn't cause a turnover, but was just there for fun. Jacobson with the no-look flick pass out the back door. No one ready for it. Sopawanga popping it up now. And then again, a kick in behind from Waikato in the wet conditions, which sadly I don't have a sound effect for. That one's going to go dead. Did that make the noise? I don't know if it did. Bit of a kick too hard from the Waikato side there. As it's still raining, Waikato played a lot better, or playing a lot of rugby for the weather. Yeah, I think it's still raining a little bit. Not as heavy as it was at the start of the game. There's still a lot of wind though, about 30 kilometres that they are dealing with here. The log of wood, says Michael. Oh, that was almost ball on ankle for the Southland fullback. It's a good position to be on the field. The thing is, we can look through this whole season for Southland and see many times where they have been losing, but then they normally come back to win. Or at least they have recently, in terms of their quite recent games. Now, I will mention for the Ranfurly Shield, it will be defended next week if Southland end up winning. They will go head-to-head with Canterbury, and that'll be down south. While that post is well and truly swinging there, the wind is maybe a bit stronger, but front row collapsing there. Penalty goes against Waikato. And then if Waikato defend, they face North Harbour in 2 weeks' time. And currently Harbour, they are yet to get themselves a win in this NPC competition. That's a rough kick, but it has found the touchline for Smith. He tried to keep it low. I believe it was going straight into the breeze. Yeah, just going down on this near side. I think that might be Ollie Norris who has been penalised for that one. Go the mighty Waikato. Says Christopher. Which is faster, hot or cold? That one's hurt my brain. Which is faster, hot or cold? Like as in, no. All I can think of is like turning on a shower, and I think, well, it's cold first, so the hot comes later? Maybe? Hot because you can't get to cold, but I can give you the... Oh no, that's bongos, hang on. There we go. A little bit of a laughing track for that one. That one stumped my brain big time. But now it's sitting on the halfway line, all Dunshay diving in off his feet. Now kicking this one in behind Shearer. Once again, going for that aerial battle. Nicely taken under it for Southland, who now have a step little grubber in behind, attempted by Tane Harvey, retreating for Waikato. Josh Morby, I think that's the first time that he has touched the ball, but the penalty goes the way of Southland. Go Waikato, says Christopher. And rugby tomorrow, yes, there is rugby tomorrow, yes, and that is going to be between New Zealand and Japan and the Women's World Cup. Little bit of argy-bargy as well, still going on there. Hamilton Burrs decided he will push absolutely everyone who is on the field. It's going to take him a little while. But, the way that Smith was setting up there, that looked like they were considering a cross kick. That's something you don't see, a little grubber into touch. That's a smart man right there. No one does that. Everyone decides to try and kick it in the ear into the corner. He was like, no, just grubber it. Should be right. Now, on across to the left-hand side. Seemed like a dangerous little patch there for Southland, who are 5 metres out from the line. Mitchell Dunshay. Southland ain't winning this. Says dime till death, where you may potentially have just helped them out because they are in a good position with this rolling ball. Jack Taylor is ready for it, going off to the left-hand side. Little step there from Shearer, who's hit a bit high from Luke Jacobson. Penalty advantage going in favour of Southland. It's just whether or not they can break through this Waikato defence. They're now 1 metre out from the try line. Pick and go from Southland. They're on the line. Beno keeps down. It's a try that has been scored. There's a bit of a delay with the sounds, I will admit. Maybe we'll have to bring them out for the international game. I give Waikato 29 points to Southland's 12. Says Christopher, although this one getting a little bit closer. Southland getting themselves the try. You see my mum looking over my shoulder for that one. I'm going to quickly look to see how Southland Stags are going. We'll try and convince her to come on at halftime. Now that I've said it, you see, the ball is in her court. She is first feeding the lambs, though, because they do not wait. Vic and Vern sends regards, brother. Says, hi, love you. We are going to be doing something with Vic and Vern in the near future. More than likely either a prediction of some sort, or we are actually going to be doing the post-match of South Africa in their game up against Italy. They're doing their update show at the moment. Says, hi, live there. Can we please have a vote on sound effects? I vote nope. Says, Studs Rate. That's harsh, isn't it? Get a new toy, and everyone says, no, don't use your toy. 30 minutes in at the moment. All right, we'll go like this, and we'll go like that as well. 30 minutes into the contest, though. Is Rugby Hitch still around? He is heavy into his studying at the moment. He is doing his degree, which is why he hasn't been on the channel that much. I still talk to him occasionally. He did come on to the post-match for Australia versus South Africa. Now, it's going to be a kick downfield, nicely taken. And kick downfield from Penny there. And Southland needed that try, says Wonder Davey, absolutely. With that try, they are now well and truly in this contest. The rain is well and truly pouring as well. Ready to throw this ball in again for Boyle Tia. Thrown into the front to Sama Penny Fee now. Xavier Rowe. Across to the right-hand side again. Lima Sopawonga. Oh, big collision there in the middle of the field on Matt Wonga. Southland's defence throughout this game has been pretty solid so far. They haven't made a huge amount of mistakes. It's more so just that force and physicality that we saw Waikato use to get over the try line. But now, that might be close to a steal, and the breakdown there for Southland. Good turnover there, Sean Withy. Now, step coming in. On the way, Leonard Brown makes the tackle. It's very slippery out there, but Fee now manages to get himself the steal with a knock on too. Southland now will have themselves the possession. It's going to be close. And the weather, it looks like the rain has actually got a little bit more sideways than it was already. 1 second, we'll go like this. And like that as well. But yeah, we'll have to do something with, hopefully, the next few weeks. I'd like to do something again with Rugby It, whether or not that is a prediction like we used to do, or it's just some sort of little popping in and say hi. Fina, I'll read that offload like a book. Says Suds Race. Yeah, he was up lightning quick, wasn't he? Which I won't use a sound effect for, because I do have one. But I will behave myself. Now, ball's going to be fed in by Southland again here for Nick Shearer. Good morning, how are you, Hamish? What games today? So far, in terms of the upcoming contest, we haven't got anything scheduled. Oh, that's a 50-22 from Southland again. They'll have themselves another attacking chance side of Waikato 22. That's a great kick from Penny. He's been having a great day with the kicking boot today. But later on tonight, we've got New Zealand versus Japan in the Women's World Cup. And then alongside that, we are also going to have the South Africa versus Italy game coming up too. 50-22 is the first one for Southland there. At the moment, my clock is 32-32. We're talking about the tough breeze, so I actually decided to keep it a little bit lower there for that kick, trying not to let it get too aerial. Now rolling maul again here for the Southland Stags. Go to the left here. There's probably a little bit of space. The way that this one's rolling. Is Jack Taylor going to break off the back? Luke Jacobson trying to keep his bind without breaking away, although he has now got a man behind him. And that sounded exactly how it looked. Now, Penny, sitting about 15 metres out from the line, the Stags here. Oh, he's done a full roly-poly. He's not happy about it. He's saying my knees were chopped out from underneath me. Come on, Waikato, says Christopher there. But Southland, they're starting to feel it a little bit more. It's as if the cowbells being rung is actually firing up Southland in this contest, because we can hear them flat out in the stands, and that seems to be what's keeping Southland moving forward. Waikato defending well at this point in time. On the way to the right-hand side, it will be Aho. Oh, knock on from Shearer there in the breakdown. Little grubber attempted from Southland. No one chasing, though. Where's the Stings from? So Southland are from down south in terms of the South Island location. A little bit south and a little bit to the side. And then, Xavier Rowe takes a quick 50-20. Oh, wow, that's going. That ball's not stopping. That's got the wind. It's gone the full length of the field pretty much for Xavier Rowe's 22-metre dropout. And they will lose about 75 metres there with that kick from Xavier Rowe. In fact, more than that, 78. That thing just did not stop moving. That wind is going well and truly behind it. But this will be one of the longest drop kicks Xavier Rowe has ever done in his life. The way that ball skidded on was almost incredible, the way that happened. But you can see there that it is really a swirling rain. And that kick seems like a good idea at the time. It does. Like, there was space in behind. The funny thing is, if he had tried it down the other end of the field, it probably would have gone maybe 10 metres. It would have got caught in that breeze. He did keep it low, though, to his credit. We have there to England, had 92. Yeah, 92-3, though. Samoa got themselves 3 points in that game, which was more than some did anticipate. Gone down on the far side. Going to be another scrum race here. Ollie Norris, he's going to the principal office. He's getting called over by the referee. Okay, Ollie Norris just got told off by Ben O'Keefe. He was pretty much told, listen, Ollie, you're just playing it up a little bit in that scrum. Behave yourself. Do your job. He's gone to the other side, as it seems to be on that dire side of the scrum that they are having a little bit of trouble. Adrian not covering the USA versus Australia game, says Kiwi Rob. A little bit, but then at the same time, like, we did already do about probably 6 to 8 hours. In fact, 8 hours of streaming for that day. So it's like a truck driver, we've got to fill out our timesheet. We have to have a few breaks every once in a while. Currently sitting 4 minutes remaining in this contest. Or for this first half anyway. Fourth time lucky. Southland are the only team to challenge for the Shield in each of the last 3 seasons, coming up short in all occasions. Is the stat that they have just got up there. And now 4 minutes remaining. Southland, if they can score now, go into halftime with a very handy lead. Are we okay, Marnus? You're going to get lecture other members? So you're complaining in chat. Says High Life. You're going to get lecture other members. Where's Marnus? He's not even here, is he? He left a while ago because I didn't read out that long joke. USA is good news story for women's rugby. Can only make it more popular. Says Studs Race. Oh, a little bit of push and shove there. Finau getting in the face of Penny. It's a battle of the pennies. Some are Penny Finau versus Penny. Oh, no, they're still going here. I think maybe just get them some gloves. Tell them to settle it on the sideline. Imagine if rugby did that. Similar to hockey. You just chuck them off to the sideline. Maybe some chess boxing. That would be interesting to see how they go. That's quite an intriguing sport. I assume I would suck at chess. I would suck at boxing. It's probably not my sport. We have got there next week. It's a big weekend for you. It's a lot of games. Says Mohadin. Hey, was in the chat. Vic was live. Says hi live there. You play chess? I don't play chess. I play checkers. No, I don't really play checkers either. I haven't played checkers for probably about 15 years, but that was a lot more fun when you got to go like kind of, jumping around on the board. That was exhilarating. And the most alive I've ever felt. Now, penalty goes the way of Waikato. Lima Sipawonga kicking this one into the touch. That was where Southland needed to score, though. We see there Penny just looking for that next... Oh, to be fair, that was a dirty shot from Summer Penny Finau. No wonder Penny wasn't happy. Finau went over and said, would you like me to help you up after trying to rearrange your spine from behind? And Penny said, hey, listen, no. That wasn't the straightest line out, but no contest. Ball's gone down, and it's stolen by Southland again. Cheers for alphas like me. I'll teach you, says High Life. And we have got the... what time is South Africa's game today? They are going to be playing at 4:30 p.m. South Africa time. Now Penny breaking the line. They'll kick him behind. Awkward bouncing ball. It's going to be well claimed by the Southland Stags. By this time the Waikato side. Little kick. This might turn into a 50-22. The way that this one is swirling. It's getting close. It's on the line. It's over. And it's a 50-22 now for Waikato. But now, line out here, 100 seconds remaining in the half. And Waikato have gone from defending. Penny, any relation to Rob? Not quite. Different spelling. P-E-N-I. There's actually quite a few ways you can spell Penny, isn't there? You can spell it P-E-N-N-Y. You can spell it P-E-N-N-E-Y. You can spell it P-E-N-N-E if you're Italian. That's Penny. Now, that was almost an advantage there in favour of Waikato, but the clean steal from Southland, oh my bad, says the Big V8 show. To be fair, though, there are a lot of rugby families. You see these guys playing when their dads were playing a long time ago, so, there are the connections that can be there. But now, got this attack and run forward from Southland, slamming on the head of Shearer. Just the 50 seconds remaining now. Now, a little bit of a counter ruck coming from Boyle Tiatia. Now, Tupo Taialoa. I don't think he's had the ball as much in hand as I would have liked to see. Definitely with how dangerous he can be. Yes, Bryn and Warren Gatlin came to mind. Do you give Australia any chance next week against England? Or do you give Samoa any chance against USA? So Samoa, I give them no chance, unfortunately. I just don't think they're quite at the same level as the other teams in their group. Australia, England will be intriguing, but Australia will have to play a really good game of rugby. So it's more so just lose by less than the USA did, so that their points differential is a little bit better to be able to go through. Looks like this injury now to Marakai Boyle Tiatia. He stayed down. Did you read my previous comments, says Marnus? I did not. We've got White of the Scarecrow win the Nobel Prize. He was outstanding in his field. Sorry, had to do it. I feel like that's the type of comment or type of effect that maybe Thuds Ray would approve of in that scenario. And now, looks like, is he going to continue in this game? He looks like he wants to. He's getting ready for the line out. Yeah, he's got the ball in hand. He's going to go for the throw here. So now with 50 seconds remaining, George Dyer went from wearing 3 on his back to 28. And he's still out there. Let's go the crazy horses. Says Bruce there. A little step coming in from Southland. That looks slightly high from Matt Wanga. Yes, use your intuition there, says Studs Rose. We have got there. How badly do you think Black Ferns beat Japan later on tonight? Probably quite unfortunately. I do think that they should win by a comfortable margin. And the thing is, we are actually going to be swapping over to the other live stream in terms of South Africa versus Italy near the end of that Black Ferns game, because it will be by, at that point, I believe, 40 to 50 points in favour of the Ferns. Line out throw here, taken by Waikato, right on the verge of halftime. Lima Sipawonga goes back across there, kick him behind. This one's going to get caught by the breeze. So taken by Southland. They will boot it into touch, not taking any risks. Ferns by 90. Says High Life there. But now, it's going to be halftime in this matchup. I forgot to do the score a little bit in terms of the time, but halftime. One moment, we'll go like this. And we'll go like that as well. But 8 points to 10. Is your phone waterproof, Novmum, or are you under the stand? Because I know you mentioned about how you were at the game. And I would assume that it's very wet. Well, it looks very wet anyway. And the breeze, catching that ball at Xavier Road just that little bit. But yeah, close game. And the thing is, this type of close game is, I would say it favours Southland just a little bit. And I know that's weird to say because they are down. But Southland, if they have a lot of points against them early, that's normally when they can sometimes lose motivation. Although, to be fair, they've won from there as well. I don't know what to expect from the Southland Stags side in the second half. Said similar things about the Scots versus Fiji. I love Black Ferns to put in a slightly better first 20 minutes. Says Studs Rose. Yeah, I thought Fiji were outstanding. And again, what game you're looking forward to next week? Says Mohaden. I think there's only one answer that I could give here. Because if I said any game other than New Zealand, South Africa, people would get angry. But outside of that game, I'm honestly looking forward to Argentina versus Australia. I think that will be one to keep an eye out for. Last round of the Curry Cup, one to watch out for as well. We get to see New Zealand versus Ireland in the Women's World Cup, England versus Australia in the Women's World Cup. I've just realised I'm listing every single game that's on next weekend. But I am looking forward to those ones. The Black Ferns have only played Japan once in Test match at Eden Park in 2022 and won 95-12. 2 points difference. And playing with the wind in the second half, Stags have a chance here. I'm actually going to check the odds, see what they're sitting at this current point in time. 1 second, we'll go like this. Hopefully, we can do it in quick succession. Maybe. How do I see the games in play? There we go. At the moment, Southland are $4 underdogs. Ayodong Springboks women's game next week. We are hoping to. I'm not sure whether or not it overlaps with any of the other matches that are taking place, but we'll see how it goes. Now 3 years later, the Snail knocked at the same door, sorry. What was that for? You took Snail 3 years, get back to the door? I should have read the first one first, shouldn't I? You watch as much rugby as I do football, Amish, NFL and college football. See, that's one sport that I've always wanted to get into. American football. But every time I try to, I end up going, no. And that's nothing against the sport. I actually quite enjoy it when it's I like watching highlights for it. Does that make sense? I don't like waiting in between. I'm very impatient. I'm I want to see what happens. But then they do all the planning, and that's probably what makes people enjoy it more. Line at the moment is minus 7.5 at this point in time. And total points 46.5 is where they see this one roughly sitting. One moment, we will go like this. We will go like this as well. But second half, I can get the teams. 1 second. Somewhere. It's coming. There we go. These are the games. Well, these are not the games. These are the players who will be making their way off of the bench. Aaron Cruden, the experienced vet, sitting there at number 22. Now, sadly for Southland, that is not Ben Smith in the number 22 jersey. Instead, his name is Byron. But Byron's not off the bench because of the early injury. So Byron's actually starting in this game. And instead, they've got Ben Smith off the... No, not quite. Unfortunately, Kuman as the number 23. I do think that... I want to say advantage to Waikato off their bench. But Southland, when they get later on in a game, they just end up with that determination. But... we'll go like this. In terms of what is coming up, ladies and gentlemen. This game here, if Southland win... Wait, it's reversed. I always get confused. So I think this should be pointing the right way. But this game here, Southland versus Canterbury. If Southland win, this will be for the Ranfurly Shield. Then, of course, if they win that, this will be for the Ranfurly Shield. That one won't be between them and Wellington, but then Southland versus Tasman. That is going to be, once again, a Shield game if they can hold on to it. If they can also win it for this one. In terms of what is coming up for Waikato, they are away from home next week up against Manawatu, but if they hang on to their shield, they will be going head-to-head with North Harbour in 2 weeks' time, then Tasman, and then Bay of Plenty. So a couple relatively tricky games coming up there for Waikato. Of course, they will not have all those All Black stocks during those contests either. We have got a blast. Wifey not happy. Our whole patio got blown off the deck. Because of the college football? Watch 7 days today. 7 games today. What's the point spread? So yeah, that was that 7.5. Possession at the moment, 50-50. In this contest, territory 62%. Handling errors 4 compared to the 1 of Southland. Meters made very similar between these two teams. 369 alongside 379 for the Southland Stags. We generally could win this, says Highlanders fan. Yeah, that's still absolutely brutal. The wind, the rain. Hopefully, second half is going to be a very entertaining one. Do you see there Thompson talking up his side? A full-time prediction, it's 22 points to 17, says Highlanders fan. Hello. Who do you think will win? Do you think Southland have it? It's very close. Wind's a big factor, 28 degrees Celsius, 28 kilometres. Be a bit warm, wouldn't it?
It's winter.
Winter, yeah. You think Southland can do it? The Stags down south? Put their antlers up?
Yeah.
There we go. That's my mum's prediction, ladies and gentlemen. I said they. She has predicted Southland to win for the second half. As have you been most impressed with Canterbury or Tasman? And Tasman this year. It's a really solid club so far. Yeah, Tasman are always right up there, aren't they? And Canterbury probably have been the big surprise, I guess, for this season. Just because, people sometimes think after a season for the Crusaders, they will drop off. We have got that hi mum, says Nov mum, with a question mark. And bring out mum, says Caitlin there. And come on, Waikato, says Vrim Vrim is Razor. And also, who's going to start in the 9 and be 21 for the All Blacks this week? I think it's going to be Finley Christie and Kyle Preston. And that's a dangerous game because, between those two, you've got 62 minutes of experience. I do hope that Cortez Ratama is all right. We have got there, who's going to start in the 9. Oh, no, I read that one. And thanks, Mum. I'll go Southland to win too. There you go.
Don't put money on it.
Oh, no, I don't think she said don't put money on it. So, she's a bit worried that someone's going to put their life savings. To be fair, $4 underdogs. She just said put your money on it. Bring in Dylan Pledger. Says Highlanders fans. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Xavier Rowe, with the exception of that long kick, he probably, he wouldn't be a mile away from getting half a chance of the call-up. Too late, says Studs Race. Yeah, second half getting very close. She may join us. I don't know. She might come on for a bit of the stream. It's very hard to say. I have to make sure that I put a sound effect. We'll have to get the permission for a sound effect for that one if she does. Oh, she's looking at me again. We have got to be honest. Do you think Bay stand any chance against the Naki next Sunday? Depends on the teams a little bit. I know that Bay of Plenty will be missing their All Blacks. Taranaki, the same though. They'll be missing a couple of those guys. No, he'll be right. He'll be right. You want? I'll grab you this one.
Yeah, because it's got too much shit on it.
I'll move to the side. There we go. 1 second. Go like this. We'll put a manoeuvre and a half. We'll slide that in. Oh, perfect. No. 1 second. We will go this way. In fact, what I can do to make it a little bit easier is... What can I do? What was I going to do? I was going to go like that. There we go. Hey, Mum.
How's it going?
Yeah, I'm good. Long time no see.
That's been... Oh, no, I saw you before.
You did. We had a good chat, didn't we? But the lambs have been fed.
Yep.
They are happy.
No, they're not.
Aren't they? Do they want more?
They want more.
Currently a half-time close game.
It is, isn't it? 10-8.
You think Southland will get it? I think they're not looking too bad at the moment. Definitely with the amount of All Blacks that Waikato have.
Well, yeah. I don't even know who's in the teams.
Do you want to see there they are. I'll put them up there for you.
Oh, okay.
So, few All Blacks for the Waikato side. Any mum that is a NPC fan is okay, says Jonathan there. And hi, mum, says Highlands fan. Hi, mum, says Kiwi Rob. Hi, Hamish's mum. The Lambs fed. Says Katie there. Tangatel back playing. Yeah, he looked good as well. Game. Caleb Clark, he had a solid game. I did look up some of his stats.
Okay.
He had 15 carries, 55 metres carried, 6 defenders beaten, 1 try, and 4 tackles. So I would put him back into the All Blacks.
What's he doing in Waikato?
Oh, Adam Thompson, he should be out there on the field. He looks like he could still go.
Probably could, yeah.
In fact, it's kind of surprising some of those older players who don't give those, like those random, classic All Blacks and all those ones.
Mm.
But then I guess when you know that your hammy can just go ping in a second, I feel that way. And I'm a bit younger. Players back on the field. Yeah, they are just having the interview with Adam Thompson. Nov Mum's at the game in the pouring rain, but she's undercover.
First, it looks the same up there as it is here.
Yeah, it's not that. The sun was out, wasn't it?
Yeah, but you didn't see all the rain and the snow on the hills, did you?
Oh, I was sleeping. I had a late night. Let's do it. Hamish's or Kiwi Lads plus Mum versus 2 Cents Gazza or 2 Cents and Gazza. That would be a collaboration and a half, wouldn't it?
Who's Gazza?
Gazza's 2 Cents Rugby's dad.
Oh, okay. No, you better have your dad for that one.
Yeah, I think, no offence to you or me, but we would lose a rugby quiz big time to those two.
Would you?
Yeah, 100%. They would wipe the floor with us, just like Mark did in the debate up against me.
Well, it depends how much time you got on your phone.
Oh, so you're saying if you can't win, cheat?
Why not?
Oh, double down. Players back on the field as well. And do you like Super Rugby? Yes. You don't mind a bit of Super Rugby sometimes.
Probably haven't watched as much as we used to, but that's because we can hear it from the lounge.
My bad. They've just shown there, 2011, Southland 22, Canterbury 19.
Ooh.
Was that back when did they win the Ranfurly Shield that game? I'd assume they would have, wouldn't they? A drop kick near the end.
Yeah,
the big celebration. Was that Marty Banks in the number 10 jersey for Southland there? That's a young Whitelock. That's actually not Sam or Luke, was it? Or was that Luke?
I don't know. I would have thought Simon Calhoun. What was his name?
Jimmy Cowan?
No.
Simon.
Oh,
Can't think of it now.
Starts with C, I think.
Now,
And not that way.
second half underway. I have to do the scoreboard manually for this one.
What is that?
Doesn't update by itself. It's very sad.
Oh, it's a bit rough.
And if you can, I'm teaching us bad habits, gambling and cheating. Yeah, you've started off with a hiss and a roar, haven't you?
What was the disclaimer? Whatever I say.
Oh, just take with a pinch of salt, is it?
Yeah.
Now, going off to the right-hand side, Waikato around the halfway line. We have got there, what team do you support? See, I'm a bit impartial in every aspect of life. And, I'm very bad at choosing. But, for NPC, I don't think I actually really have a team.
No.
Are you a Targo? You'd be a Targo. You've got a Targo kit, don't you?
Yeah, that's because we lived in Christchurch for so many years. So,
We should clarify that's because, everyone went for Canterbury and the Crusaders, so Mum was like, you know what? I'll go for the other team.
But we live sort of halfway, so it's always been summer Otago, summer Canterbury.
Yeah. Oh, that's a massive knock-on from George Dye. Wearing number 28 today because his other jersey, I think, got ripped.
Okay.
I'm going off to the left-hand side. Smith, going back across to Penny. Now, quick hands. That's nicely done by Southland. They've got the win with them, so that will travel a little bit. Well claimed at the back for Liam Coombs. Fabling. Looked like he hurt his knee in the process of kicking that one. That one didn't even find touch. It went pretty much straight up into the breeze and came back to him. But now Penny, about 20 metres out, he's been solid. He also got a 50-22, the big man, in the 12 jersey. I don't even know who he plays for in Super Rugby, but he's probably going to play for someone next season.
I'd imagine so.
Keeps on playing like this. All close to the steal and the breakdown for Waikato. Low pass, but good hands from the big man, Aho. Why are you laughing?
Almost as if you forgot his name. Sorry.
But now 10 metres out from the line. Southland, all balls spot free. No one realised.
Yeah.
Although, advantage. They're going to go back for the scrum. We have got there up the Stags, says Ben Dixon there. And we have got there Penny to the Canes to replace Peter Umaga Jensen, please. Honestly, he would be a decent fit in that regard. Or will we take Tawatawa Nawai to the Canes? Either works for me. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Tawatawa Nawai, I think if he leaves the Highlanders, no offense, Highlanders fan, because I saw you a little bit earlier on, but that would not be good for the Highlanders. I don't think. I think that they need Tawatawa Nawai. The man beat over 70 defenders by himself last year. So, him and Tangi Tau. If Tangi Tau can avoid the injury, Ralph's going to be making his way onto the field. That is for the injury of Manakai Boyle Tia. Currently 37 minutes. Everyone's popping in and out. We should just keep on extending the cheers. Let's go, Southland, says Ben. Now, Xavier Rowe. Has he done enough to get that All Blacks call up if there is the injury to Ratame? At the moment, I'd say no. He's been all right, He hasn't done anything too badly. But that long kickoff from the 22 that went dead. There's a bit of a brain fade there. From Jamie Joseph needs to let Tawatawa Nawai write his own check for sure. Says it's Razor. Yeah, the All Blacks, I feel like maybe they should let him write that check too. Now, nice inside ball to Sean Withy, who bumps off the challenge. 25 metres from the line. I'll head into the left-hand side, shoveling it on to Jack Taylor. They're not really going forward, but they're not going back. They're going. How you describe a little chip of mine. Very smart play from the Southland fullback. Sits up for a Michael Manson. 10 metres out from the line. Lima Sopawanga looking for the steal. Now pick and go again here from Matt Wanga. Big run from Tupo Taialoa. He is a battering ram for Moana Pacifica. Now Southland getting right on the verge of getting another try. 7 phases in. Dunshay on the arm. That's close, but he won't quite slide over like he is a Penguin. Now missed pass, but it goes in behind. That wasn't a knock on, was it?
No, went backwards.
Keith has hardly called a forward pass or a knock on all day, but he calls the one that probably was the least of a knock on.
Nice to have the best ref in New Zealand there, eh?
Oh, you're firing shots, mum. You said cheat, gamble, and bash the refs. The ultimate trio.
What was wrong with that comment?
Well, what's this? That's not a knock on, is it? It's behind the bloke.
What do you reckon, Nov Mum? Was it a knock on?
Nov Mum will probably say yes because she goes for Waikato.
Get out of here.
And back and to the left, says Studs Rays. Yeah, that was a try too because no one was covering on the outside had that been play on.
Dodgy call.
And now big scrum from Waikato who get themselves the penalty. No way that was a knock on. Yeah, we've seen a lot less given as a knock on. And we've seen a lot more closer to a knock on than that one right there. But it wouldn't be a Ranfurly Shield game without a little bit of controversy. That's not a knock on, says Ben. Nah, it looked fine to me. Oh, that one didn't find touch. Once again, kicking into the breeze is really going to be tough for Waikato, who will struggle to get out of their half. Nice attack and run down the wing. Southland at the moment just wanting it that little bit more, and that might even motivate them from that last goal, but moving up to 22 metres out from the line. Across the right-hand side, Samisi Tupo Taialoa. Again, sitting 30 metres out. Up Southland, you got this. Angus has version mode setting turned on. Says Rim it's Razor.
Back in our day, up.
Up south. Oh, you're saying like up, yeah. That kind of, yeah.
And back in our day, it did, yeah.
See, now it's up the was, but that means very different.
Yeah, that means a good thing.
It's interesting how words change, isn't it? Oh, that's a big clean out way off the ball from Sopawanga and Southland 7. Now, Fahey. Pick and go. What's a cool old word you used to say that doesn't get used now? That was illegal. From Lima Sopawanga.
Every time he goes in a ruck, it's illegal.
It's frustrating, isn't it? Frustrating game of rugby. You're getting into this game.
Wow.
You get a bit of feeling in it. This ball will fire massively, like about 50 metres away. Yeah. Because it's going to be with the wind behind. But yeah, what's some old cool hit lingo back in the day? Like dope is used now, but dope meant something different back in the day.
Yeah.
Did you dabble in dope?
No, Hamish.
the wording of it, you know, saying it just sounded cool.
No. You need some sleep, don't you?
But now, kick here for Southland to take the lead. Struck pretty nicely. It's gone over. And that is now going to make the score 11 points to 10.
Just so you know how to do that.
Yeah, it's very lucky because or else I'd have to find like an online one that I can update. Your mum dresses you funny.
He's 25. He can dress his own.
Let's go. The Stag says that's raising groovy. Groovy's an old school word.
Yeah, true.
Did you used to get groovy at the discos? Did you go to discos? Discos are something we should bring back.
Yeah, why not?
I would go to a disco.
The Bee Gees going in the background.
That's a G, wasn't it? BG, yep.
Yeah. What do you think?
And now kick high from Southland. Nicely taken by Waikato. Josh Morby. Without the Stags, there's Ben. Are you allowed to show us the game? Sadly not. Any match footage gets us taken straight off YouTube, sadly. Have a snog, says Marcus in there. Yeah, that's an old school kind of saying, isn't it?
Really, yeah.
Now going to the right. Waikato on the halfway line.
I think that was after our time.
Was it the snogging phase? Now left-hand side. Currently 11 points to 10. It was a little bit slower updating. See you back for another day of ruggers. And I thought Morby was leaving overseas. Is he not gone yet? He's actually back with the Hurricanes. He went over to Montpellier last season. Actually ended up ending his contract short. I don't know why. I don't know whether there was something going on there. But yeah, he's back with the Canes now for next season. And antlers up, says Dylan. Now off to the right-hand side. Xavier Rowe pops it up. George Dyer. Sapawanga with the skip pass. Now bigger run forward from Lower Kai. That ball's loose, but it's taken by the Stags again. Oh, it does keep on ending up on the Waikato side, doesn't it, in the breakdowns? She pointed at Lima Sapawanga, ladies and gents. He's been active though, hasn't he, for the amount of time he's been out.
Illegally.
Heavily strapped knee. Still fighting through it. Aaron Cruden to make his way off the bench too for Waikato. They've got the experience and the ABs in the lineup.
Isn't there any young Fuse Fires? Waikato.
Not for them at the moment. Is that Nov, Mum? I don't know what she looks like, really. So could have been. FFS says Nov, Mum there. It would be a very frustrating one for the Waikato side at the moment. We do see their tackles missed 18, tackling at 84%, but Southland, 92% tackle completion is actually quite incredible for the side. Up against such a strong, dangerous attack. Oh, big run from Tupo Taialoa, gets away from Samapini Fina, ball on the inside, huge amount of pace, Sapawanga went for the tackle and sliding over, kept his legs up, and I believe that is the try for Nick Shearer in the corner that gives Southland a bigger lead.
Sorry.
Oh, you fist pumping, were you?
I'm not one-sided at all.
But what a try.
Awesome try.
Massive run from Tupo Taialoa. Managing to get away from not just Samapini Fina, but I think it might have been Leonard Brown first too, was it? Then he managed to break away from, got away from Xavier Rowe. And Samapini Fina, his knees didn't quite want to get underneath him, like when I try and run. But a big shot coming in from Liam Coons Fabling and just couldn't quite bump him over the sideline. And we need stickers of your mum's reactions. That's an idea. We've got the one of me going and the one of George going. So maybe we need a... Come on, Southland says JSP, and yes, boy, yes. You look so much like your mum, says Tiger Hall.
Haven't heard that one.
I'll take it. I feel like there's a bit of... As I've got older, I've probably gone a little bit more in your direction. When I was...
Good kick.
It's a great kick. It's going over. 18 points to 10. When I was younger, I did just look like Dad, didn't I?
Yeah, you're West side.
But as I age, I look more like a
My brother.
middle-aged woman.
No, you look like your Uncle Daryl.
Shout out Daryl. His knee was very close to being out there. We didn't really have a look at that either. The TMO did they? It was very quick. Lima Sopawanga now off the field. Now. And that is going to be for Aaron Cruden, 100%. You two are definitely related.
I hope so.
Yeah, me too. Lived here a while. We've got there, when was the last time Southland had the Ranfurly Shield? 2011, when they beat Canterbury, I believe. Or at least that was a highlight that they showed. Maybe that was their getting it back. I just did the Justin Marshall, IRL, go Bowden, says vroom vroom. What a moment that was, wasn't it?
That was pretty good.
That's one of those commentary moments that you can just remember.
Yep.
And you remember Grant Nisbet. I don't know what sentence he tried to say, but it was pretty much Justin going, go Bowden, go Bowden. And then, was it Grant Nisbet went, I think it was. It's something like that.
That was Keith Quinn with John Alomu.
Old school. Nice take there. Oh, that's an ugly way to land with a knee underneath a breakdown. We've seen someone already go off with an injury this weekend. But Southland in position again. They're dominating position at the moment. And I think it's having that wind in their back there just that little bit quicker. I love how you see your mum. She looks the same age as you, Hamish. That's a very good statement to make. You're smart. You know, and I was going to say, and we are the same age, but that's a bit weird, isn't it? Yeah. She adopted me when she was born. Most iconic New Zealand commentary moment in history, says vroom vroom, it's Razor. And I was up the Stag, says Ben. And no check, all good by me, says Starts Race. Yeah, that knee was certainly close, but they must have looked at it once and said, yeah, nah, good enough. But now going short ball there. Smith goes to Sean Withy, who probably hasn't been involved in this game as much as I actually thought that he would have been. To be honest, normally he's absolutely everywhere. I hate the score now, says Dylan. To be fair, 8 points is a really ugly scoreline to be down by, isn't it?
So you have to keep updating.
Yeah, I have to do the time as well, which is why I only updates every 5 minutes or so. Murray Mexted had some commentary blunders. Let's not discuss when your mum is there, says Marcus. Oh, yeah, I've got there. Did you hear NRL commentary using remarkable about 8 times in 20 seconds? See, I get a little bit like that. I feel like I repeat words just a little bit when my brain stops working. The late night live streams, I don't know how I ramble as much as I do, but just everything just keeps on coming out.
And when you're tired, it's worse.
Penalty goes the way of Waikato. Player leaving feet there against Southland. Could you be the Stags' lucky charm here?
Might be, yeah.
Get them a bit more of a lead.
Well, they were 10-8 down when I came on.
And since then, 10 unanswered points in favour of the Stags. We are doing amazing. Says Islanders fan. They actually are playing like a team that look like they're going to win. But the thing is, right, can you also look at this and go, well, look at all the All Blacks in the Waikato side. Should there be other guys maybe getting that chance? Just a little bit?
Take that knife out.
Raiders went over the Panthers in Golden Point. There's a lot of Golden Points happening in the NRL as of late. I'd be too stressed to support a side in the NRL. Definitely the Warriors. Apparently that's gone south real quick. Now Aaron Cruden passes off now. Beautiful hands from Lua Kai. Plenty of pace too for the big number 7. 20 metres out. Sean Withy though in the breakdown. He's got the steal. I mentioned how he hadn't been doing much. And now he's just gone and got himself a steal and a half. And that was when Waikato were on pure defence. Did you see how far back, sorry for pointing, I just realised where my hand was. I'm normally a bit more to the side. But did you see how far back Waikato tried to retreat there when the kick was coming because of that wind?
Yep.
That could leave a little bit of a gap for a chip in behind. Bowden Barrett would be happy. Now skip pass into the hands of Summer Penny Fee now in a bit of space. Summer Penny Fee. And off to the left-hand side. Cricketers say marvellous. See, when I tried cricket commentary, there was a wicket that I just went, ah! And that was all. So cricket was not quite my forte at times. Although the West Indies Australia one was a pretty decent-ish one that I could still use names. Name change. Southland Stags will win Bunnings NPC 2025. I like it. And look at the run now from Penny. Kicking it in behind. It's a foot race again. Waikato are spending half their time having to retreat in the second half. Now close to the sideline. 5 metres out from the line. Waikato protect the ball. Richie Beno, marvellous. And Coons Fabling has put on a bit of weight. I was thinking the same. He used to be that little fella at the back or out on the wing, but now he's like a solid bloke at the back. You know, he's just a bit bigger. He used to be a bit more of a small speedster. Now he looks slower but bigger. Maybe that was something that either the coaches said. Like I feel like Stanley Solomon at some point will go through probably the same patch of putting on a little bit more size to be one of those smaller wingers around. But the Southland, quite a few supporters for them in this one.
He's had amazing. You know, half that I've watched.
He's got to be man of the match, I think, Penny, for what he's been able to do. His kicking game from 12 has actually been really strong as well. Like, he looks like the type of player who would just crash ball. But he's
him in the number 8.
Yeah, Samisi Tupo Taialoa. Taialoa was actually kind of quiet in the first half.
Okay.
But seems to have really come alive in the second. Probably TJ Clark also. Needs a bit of bulk. Says Rum Rum. Good name. I like that name better than Highlanders will win Super Rugby 2025 because they finished dead last, sadly. Didn't they? It was a rough season.
It was a rough
for the Landers. It was the injuries, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's always the injuries.
And now?
What's the All Blacks excuse?
Injuries. It's got to be injuries. You know, they've got a few. A rolling ball. Southland with the ball in hand. Jack Taylor. Passing away to the right-hand side. Oh, big run from Benny who runs straight at Luakai and still going. He's going to keep on making those extra metres. Thanks for reminding me, says Southland Stags. Yeah, sorry about that. But now right-hand side, 10 metres out from the line here for Southland. Did I just hear penalty advantage from Ben O'Keefe? Or did he say something else? Is the Stags 8 the same 8 as Moana? Yep. Samisi Tupo Taialoa, the big man who just seems to have a lot of potential. I know that people were talking about him as an AB's bolter. I'm sure that they'll be looking at him now as a very strong option. Now still 10 metres out. Phase after phase, Waikato having to defend. If they concede another try here and it's converted, all good work in the breakdown, almost stolen by the replacement hooker. Now across to the left. There are some cowbells ringing. Fans will be nervous at the moment. This is definitely not the way that people saw this game going with the underdogs as big as they were. Southland, that was head-on-head contact between Luakai and also Jack Taylor. This score bites, says Novmum. And geez, Penny is having some game. He already looks more like an All Black than Anton Lienert-Brown today. That's the thing. Like, Lienert-Brown, this is going to sound harsh, right? But since coming back from his injury, I haven't seen that same Lienert-Brown from 2024 before he got injured that season as well. You know, like he at the start of Super Rugby 2024 was doing absolutely insane. I think anyway, or maybe it was 2023. But just those couple shoulder injuries seem to have taken him completely out of the game. Like we've seen him make a few tackles in this contest, but he's now had a defensive misread that almost leads. It does lead to the try for Southland Stags. He just went a little bit too far forward, didn't he? Lienert-Brown, probably not just his fault, but we mentioned the chip and bind. I didn't mean that small of a chip. That was only a little dink, wasn't it? But Southland lead by 13 with a kick to come.
Wow.
Shield's going south. Like literally, not like as in the competition's going south, but, you know, the Shield. Little chip there. See, Lienert-Brown just not quite quick enough to be able to get to that one. And the try scored by Fletcher Morgan. That's marvellous. Says Studs Ray there. Lovely, says Razor. And also, bro, Waikato are so bad. Weak performance. It's been far from their best in this game, unfortunately. And the thing is, they worked so hard in that game up against Taranaki just to then come into this game with more stocks. They've got 5 All Blacks, and they are playing worse than when they didn't have their ABs. That kick's gone over. Question. 15 points down now for Waikato. If you were them looking back at this game, would you regret giving so many All Blacks the opportunity and losing your cohesion from the earlier games?
Yep. If they'd been playing well until this game, yeah.
Like they won in Taranaki to get the Ranfurly Shield. How many ABs does Waikato have? Seems like they've almost disrupted the flow of the Moolus. Exactly. They've got Ollie Norris, which I don't think is too much of a change. I mean, in the prop department. They've got Summer Penny Finau at 6. Luke Jacobson. This is his first game back since his injury. He's had 5 weeks off. So the question is, would the player who was playing in the number 8 jersey have done better in this type of contest? They've also got in the back line Anton Lienert-Brown at 13. We haven't seen a lot of the ball going out to the wings. You and I are on the same page today. Hamish says it's Razor. The Stags better beat Canterbury if they win today. Yeah, that's the thing. Next week, the Stags will have to defend their Ranfurly Shield up against Canterbury. So that's a tough game. And Southland dominating a bunch of current All Blacks and ex-All Blacks. Shameful performance, says Dime Till Death. And now, going off to the right-hand side. Chance here in the middle of the field. Was that Nana? Was she messaging about you on the live stream? About the game. Get Nana on the live stream. We'll pop her in the corner. Now, left-hand side. Xavier Rowe. Cross to the left again.
I'll answer that one after the game.
And Southland dominating a bunch. Oh no, I read that one, didn't I? And come on, the Stags. I'm locked in now. Big shot as well. It's just the physicality. I think Waikato needed to make more of the wind. That looked a little bit high from Benny, and unfortunately, it's probably going to be... Bye-bye. Okay, it hits the shoulder. I mean, he has been physical throughout the game.
He was lucky.
That one was a bit too high, though. And I missed the first half. Is Finau being any good? The biggest thing Sama Penny Finau did in the first half was a cheap shot on Penny for Southland. He was all right. He had some good moments in there, but honestly, he's looked a little bit behind. I just think making too many changes in the loose forward trio has hurt this Waikato team. Big shot on Leonard Brown, though. That was actually Penny as well. How many tackles has that man made? And yeah, dipping down there a little bit. These hits. Says Rim Rim, it's Razor. I'm just going to have a quick look and see who Waikato had last week in that loose forward trio, who they decided to sack. How do I do that? One moment. Oh, it's not straight. So Southland will get themselves the position back. Ranfurly Shield, lineups. In their loose forward trio, they had Jerome Brown, Mitch Jacobson, and also Sifaloi, who's going to make his way off the bench soon. It sounds bad to say, but I'd probably take them at the moment. You know, like I said, Luke Jacobson, obviously it's to get him back out there and get him playing rugby, but have him off the bench.
Yeah. Rather
than having him in the starting lineup. They've lost all sorts of cohesion in this one, and Finau's just dropped the ball forward. There's a big shot coming in. Sama Penny Finau. He's had far from his best game as well. He's like I said, he's done some things all right. And maybe the All Blacks could have been used off the bench instead of starting them. Impact would have been better than losing combinations, says Steve Lamb. I agree. I think that, it's a tricky one. I'm trying to think of how to say it without, offending the All Blacks per se. But for me, the All Blacks guys shouldn't just walk into a lineup just because they're an All Black. It should be based off form. And yeah, at the moment, I have to update the scoreboard. I do see I'm a little bit behind there. We'll go like that. We'll just go 65. That'll buy us a bit of time. And we'll go 32 there as well. There we go. Wait, no, it is 25. Sorry, I didn't do the time. There we go. That's better. Should be right. But yeah, I think that it just seems to be, sometimes sides go too excited and chuck everyone back in for the sake of it. What's the score? 25-10. It is indeed. Yeah, believe it or not. Southland are up by 15 in this rainy game in Waikato. It's the first time I've seen Penny play. He's genuinely impressive. I hope Razor is watching. My dislike for the Waikato Chiefs is pretty up there, says the Lim report. You'll be absolutely loving this then. Penalty goes the way of Waikato. But the thing is, right, they were down in their game up against Taranaki. We'll just quickly look. At halftime, it was 5-3. After, where is it? It was 22-11. It was 22-19. It was... Action. It was 22-13 in that game, and Waikato came back to win it.
Ooh.
So this game's not over. But Southland, they were down by 3 tries in one of their games and came back and won the second half. I believe it was up against Manawa too. Hey man, love your content. Just moved from Australia, so you're one of my main sources for all things rugby. Says it's raising our backline movement. Aaron Cruden. Can the veteran get something going here for his side? He's knocked the ball on. I don't think Southland are losing this.
They're playing too well at the moment.
There's just, I don't know, there's something that's not going right for Waikato. They will have a very short Ranfurly Shield reign. And just, nice tackle made there. That was actually Tane Harvey getting that slap in. I've got a slap sound effect. Would you like to hear it?
Yeah, why not?
Oh, you haven't got headphones on. One moment. You just put that on for a second. Do you want them for the rest of it?
That was the punch.
That's the punch. It's just a little slap noise, isn't it? They can hear it too, fun fact. So everyone just heard that little...
So when did you find that?
I found it last night and I went a bit too far with it on the Borland versus Sharks stream.
As you would.
And come on, Southland, surely you can't blow this. Surely not. Definitely with the extra conversion going over. I've seen more errors from the All Blacks boys than the Mooloo boys. This is shocking. Says Vroom Vroom, it's Razor. Also, come on, Scotland, surely you can't blow this. Oh, sorry, come on, Southland, sorry. And Stags fans going to light up the Tron. Well, the thing that's pretty awesome is there's actually a lot of Southland supporters in the stands.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many live up there or whether they have just made their way up for this matchup, but they'll be bloody happy they did. Now off to the left-hand side. Waikato. They just haven't made it into the 22 almost throughout this whole half.
And when they do, they drop the ball.
That's been the big difference. Borland blew it last night. I'm here. The team's blowing it. Says I lollipop. Another knock on from Waikato. Double slip there. Going on for Michael Manson, looking like a giraffe that's just been born. Downfield. Oh, that's a good boot too. Wind used in his favour. Now Coons Fabling's got a lot of time. Nice step. Passes off to the left-hand side. Does Balin Sullivan play for Waikato? Is he a Waikato boy? He was in there at the start of the season. Is he injured? Lineups. He was in the mid. Yeah, Balin Sullivan in the midfield. What happened to him? Is he injured? They also had Daniel Sinkinson at 15 who didn't do too badly. Nice run there. Anton Leonard-Brown. Now inside ball. Oh, big shot. Dunshay just sits him down. Nick Shearer should be Landers 9. And Manson's been awesome at fullback, says the Lim report. Now another big run forward from Mason Tupai. That is Quinn's brother. To the left-hand side. Now skip pass. Oh, Cruden lined up. That was again Penny. Just put it on the pressure. Nice quick hands out there on the wing. And beautiful offload too. Keep this ball alive for Rampling. Zana's Auckland. Balin is Waikato. Says his Razor there. I love how there is one Taniwha fan amongst the Stags. Yeah, you got to still show that support for Northland, don't they? Anywhere you go, you've always got that one extra kit somewhere in the stands. Normally it's the old school kit too. This is frustrating. Says no, Mum. I imagine it would be. Like, this compared to last week's game from Waikato is just night and day different. You know? And now Southland defending well here. 40 metres out from the line. Xavier Rowe. Had a sharp enough game in that 9 jersey, but at the moment out of the 2 9s, another offload and another massive shot coming in. He might have knocked himself out in the process, the Southland player. That's how hard he tried to hit him. He decided, I'm willing to break your rib for my consciousness. At 11.
Gonna be some sore guys.
Yeah, big time. Everyone will get in the ice bath, which is probably just a pull at this rate with how cold it will be up there with the rain. Great defence by the Stags. And come on, Southland, says Nicole. See, that's the thing. There will be many people who potentially go for Southland who thought this game may have been a bit too much. You know, 2 games in a row, Southland have won for the first time in a very long time. And now they're going to win 3 in a row and get themselves a Ranfurly Shield to take home with them. I'm going to the Gold Coast 500. And October, says Kiwi Gamer. And this is giving me Tonga Fiji throwbacks. With all these handling errors, says Razor. It's honestly been a pretty rough weekend for handling errors, but saying that these conditions have been pretty rough, but Southland don't seem to mind, do they?
No. This is what they probably grew up in.
It can be pretty rough down south, can't it? Only the weather, not the people.
No.
They're quite nice.
People are friendly.
Yeah. You know? Now Rampling. Bit clean out there as well. Cruden, quick hands. Going to Josh Morby. He's touched the ball like 3 times. In this game now, another offload. I will mention Xavier Rowe has made his way from the field. Nice one, Rowe. Miss it when he had the Indy cars. Now, Josh Morby. Oh, what a jersey grab that is. Yeah. Just holding on was a hoe. They always seem to. Now off to right inside. 40 metres out from the line. Waikato in position. Southland play very smart. Waikato just can't get the 22-metre entry at all. Yeah, every time they get to that 25-metre line, they seem to drop the ball. And that's pretty much epitomised this whole game for them. Ball stolen in the breakdown for Southland. Now left-hand side, good hands. Yeah. As well, that's just been the difference, hasn't it? Just the holding on to possession, the phase play. I'd love to know how many times Waikato have hit more than 5 phases. Good morning, says Carlin. Welcome in. I hope you're doing extremely well. Nice early morning start for you in South Africa. And of course, The Springbok women playing later on up against the Italians. That is a must-win game. They want to make their way through to the quarterfinals, where I do know now that they will face New Zealand if they make it through. Cross-kick chance. That win's just going to take that ball a little bit too much.
I think, yeah. Do we have TMA on this one?
Yeah.
Well, that was late.
Late shot. Who by?
I don't know, but on him.
Oh, on him. Summer Benny Finau hit him real late earlier on. Man, there's a lot of Southlanders in the stands.
Yeah, they're enjoying it too.
As you would. The beverages are flowing. Otago Southland Rugby is definitely on the up. As a Highlanders fan, this is so awesome to see. What is the time by you? At the moment, it is 71 minutes through, but if you're talking about real time, it is 6:06 p.m. Sean Withy says the Lim Report. He's been a quiet man in this game, but the big moments where we've seen him, he's fully stepped up. You know, I think he's got 2 or 3 turnovers in the breakdown. Lovely kick, keeping them plugged deep. Says it's Razor. And do you think Waikato got All Blacks released? Or think Waikato got them. Yeah, they had 5 All Blacks in this game, and they looked bang average for this matchup. And we mentioned about it just before, but I think if Waikato had the chance to do it again, they'd have those ABs off the bench breaking down the wing now. And it's actually the guys who have made their way onto the field that have had that impact too. So I think if they had the likes of a Leonard Brown, Finau, those type of guys, Jacobson, coming off the bench rather than starting, it could have been a really tough last 20 for Southland. It could have taken them out of the game. But currently 15 points down. Another penalty won here for Southland. And now the decision to be made. I think they're calling for the kicking tee. Yes, they are. They're going to use up a little bit more time. Probably the full 60 seconds if they can. But now,
you watching this?
Going to be 8 minutes remaining. Hello?
I'm listening to it.
Yeah.
Very intriguing game.
Mm.
Goes to South.
Yeah.
Going South. Southland. Up against Canterbury next week. That's going to be a tough one, though. We could have a...
But they're playing well.
They are. But Canterbury are unbeaten. They're loving it, the Stags supporters. How long to go, says Dylan. The kick is taken. That one's way off to the right. But valuable seconds off the clock.
Yep.
Aaron Cruden taking it. Still another 8 minutes remaining in this match. Ball on the inside to Coombs Fabling. Leonard Brown. And how come I always get my notifications with 10 minutes to go, says Naz. Yeah, it's a bit brutal, isn't it? But you're going to get to see...
Oh, that was forward.
There's been 3 forward passes this game. None of them have been called, although they're going back for that one. Yeah, there was one right in front of the ref, about 1 metre. How, sorry, says Naz Williams rather than Ho. And we have got the bro, they're about to win the same amount of games as the Highlanders did, says Southland Stags. And also, we have got their go you good thing, says Studs Rose. Waikato just can't get out of their own half. It's the wind. You know, they haven't been able to get a good exiting kick. And I don't think they used the advantage of the wind enough in that first half. They were trying to do more of a running-orientated game.
Well,
and
I didn't see the first half.
That's true. But yeah. I think it's just more so
I've wanted it more.
Yeah, they look like a team that want to take it home with them. Whereas Waikato, I don't know, it's just been a bad game for them. You know, they could play this game 5 times more and they might win the other 4.
Yeah.
But this game in particular has just gone completely wrong. And Southland aren't done here.
No.
They could actually get themselves a bonus point if they do get 1 more try, I believe. We've got their morning Hamish and Hamish's mum, Sunny Cape Town, says, Ruth, welcome in. Hope you're doing extremely well. I just got notification, ouch, nearly finished. So that seems to be a common occurrence. In that regard, YouTube must have got confused about when it was taking place.
Because it's an NPC game.
We have got there in this competition having All Blacks released to players like a Poison Chalice. I have a feeling coaches are instructed to play them by the All Blacks coaches. Yeah, it's a tricky one, isn't it? But then at the same time, I mentioned earlier on, you would think because they're in the All Black squad that they would be in more form. But some of those guys just haven't been playing rugby. You know, you look at someone like a Luke Jacobson. He's been out for 5 weeks with an injury. Summer Penny Finau. Tupavai's been taking his spot at 6, so he's getting time off the bench if he's lucky. You've got Leonard Brown, who he goes out on the field, gets himself a yellow card within 5 minutes. So then he doesn't get to play anymore. Like, there's just too many inconsistencies in the players that have come back. When you look at the wider spread, you can kind of see why they have struggled. You know?
Yeah.
A little bit of a rant there, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
That's because I'm quite loud, aren't I? Yell a little bit. Isn't there a stag in the ABs? There's Ethan de Groot and there's also Severee's drop kick attempt. That was never going over with the win the way that it is. But once again, using valuable time, it goes dead. 22 dropout, 5 minutes remaining on the clock. before the Stags lift that shield up. But I'm glad I did this game. What a performance it's been from Southland. Sleep deprivation is worth it. That's probably not a good life quote, is it? No. But, almost a steal. Why would you go for the droppy? All about using up the little bit of extra time, I think. You're looking refreshed, energetic, the Stags. Says Ruth. Yeah, no, I've got more energy than I expected. That was a bit high from Penny again. Any more games on the agenda, or this is the last one? We've got 2 more games later on tonight that we are going to be covering on the channel. The first of which is going to be the matchup between New Zealand and Japan for the Women's World Cup, and the second one will be South Africa versus Italy. Also, in that Women's World Cup, that was knocked on by Waikato again. A new way of saying Waikato. It's a bit fancy, isn't it? A hot cheese roll was just what I heard the commentator say. I wouldn't mind a hot cheese roll. Don't you hate when a cheese roll's lukewarm?
I don't think they did cheese rolls in the North Island.
Yeah, they're not as common, are they?
No.
Maybe a commentator from the South Island, perhaps.
Probably.
Do you guys like cheese rolls?
They're yummy.
Riveting conversation at the end of the stream. But no, I hate when a cheese roll's only lukewarm. You know, that cheese should almost burn your mouth, but not so much that you actually are in pain. What time? Melted butter and cheese. Sears Roof there. Oh, what time is the flight from Auckland to Invercargill? What time is the flight from Auckland to Invercargill? Who's that for? They're going, they're in Hamilton though, aren't they?
But
do they have to go north to then head south?
I'd imagine so.
It's a little bit rough, isn't it?
Or are they Hamilton, Christchurch, Invercargill?
They go Hamilton, Dunedin? That's that bloke from the show. Crowds Wild?
Yeah.
He's not happy at the moment about the result.
He must be a Waikato supporter.
Look at that though. 15 handling errors to 3. That's just not good enough.
It's huge. You can't win a game.
No. Not when your opposition have only had the 3 handling errors. Southland, you wouldn't think they were playing in the same conditions. It's rainy, it's wet, the wind is swirling, and they've just been throwing it around, Southland. We have there. Can your mum watch every Southland game for the rest of the season, please? Southland Stags. Now, ball's going to go in. Yeah, you might have been their lucky charm. They were down by 2 at half time. They haven't conceded in the second half.
No.
Now, Cruden.
Waikato haven't looked like scoring.
No, they haven't. They haven't even been in the 22. It's just weird. Just table-wise, they're not sitting too badly. They had a good win over Auckland away from home at the start. Waikato is sitting 3 wins, 1 loss. They're going to be sitting 2 losses here. After this game, nice step getting around Penny. Now offload going to Josh Morby. Another offload here for Waikato. This is their best chance, little grubber, but it's defended by Southland. Waikato's ball. Told that they need to go quick, and they do decide to. There's only 2 minutes remaining. They're trying to get within that 7 points, so they will need to try and then something. Now back across to the left-hand side. Offload again. It's the bench. It's doing the difference here for Waikato. Yeah. Number 19. Been looking sharp. Now trying to break through the tackle. He had a man on his leg, though. Quite hard to move when that happens. And Leonard Brown. Looking for the offload from his back. Wanga. In fact, that's time it would have been Gideon Rappling. That was a risky offload. That's a knock-on from Waikato. Make it 16 handling errors throughout this contest. 1 minute remaining. Got any mates in Southland? Road trip shout from there to the Royal Tavern. Says Kiwi Gamer in Southland. Go Southland, says Knob Mum. And Crowd goes wild, says a Razor. And there as well, just 1 minute remaining. It looks like they're going into their shell. They can. All they have to do is go a few more phases. That was almost nicely done, though. You see there the Southland, that's quite nice, the fact that the bench where the Southland players are is right next to where the supporters are too. Yeah, a nice memory. NPC delivers fantastic games every week. Unless you're Waikato. You know, this was probably the worst that they have played this season, maybe even last as well. They were up 10-5, I think, in this one, or maybe 10-8 was the last time that they were at least close in this game. But from there, 17 unanswered points. The Waikato side, though, getting one last turnover. I want to cut out the chance. Josh Morby with the step big shot from Penny again. He has to have man of the match, doesn't he? He's been very busy. Or Tupo Taeloa. Now Leonard Brown, where's he going to go? He goes sideways. Now loose ball again. Looking for the steal and the breakdown. The colder it is, the better the Stags like it. Says Steve Lamb, yeah, these type of conditions, they're not new for Southland, are they? They probably consider this a warm day. And Waikato bench has done nothing. Not scored since halftime, says Nicole. Although I do think the bench have looked better than the guys in some regards who started. I just don't think they got the selections right once again. They've still got the penalty advantage here, so there might still be another 2 minutes or so remaining in this match. Rampling going away to Aaron Cruden. Now, what's that? It's a grubber. That was about as limp as you can get. I mean, what 1 metre? Yeah, he was lucky it hit his foot.
Half a metre.
What time is the next game? Next game will be starting at 12:50 or 12:55 a.m. New Zealand time. So kickoff is at 1 a.m. And we have there some people, or people south of Gore will argue the Shield is more important than the World Cup. So there's a limb report. There's still going to be another penalty advantage in favour of Waikato. And Waikato didn't go to the line out. It's probably fair enough. Their line out has been a bit shaky today too. Leonard Brown, another shot on him by Mitchell Dunshay, manages to break through. Or he is tackled by Matt Wang, who has his pants pulled down. Now to the left-hand side. Getting close, Mason Tupai. I mean, they might score. Oh, tried to go for the try around the side and has dropped it, so they will go back for another penalty. Thanks, says Roof. But yeah, we will be scheduling those live streams just after this one. Quick tap taken by Rampling, who I think has been the best off the bench. Well, that's Waikato side. Pick and go, loose ball picked up, though, by Waikato, not quite knocking it on. Trying to get in the breakdown. Was Penny again. You know, a lot of sides' radars, I would think, for Super Rugby. Imagine him for the Highlanders. And that, no, I was going to say the number 12 jersey, but Timothy Tavatavanawa might have a thing or two to say about that.
Imagine them both in the midfield.
Oh, or Tanielu Talia, battle with the mullets. In the middle of the park. The Landers might have something going on there if they can get that signing going, but he'll be probably an extra few thousand now. Now, ball's still there for Waikato. We're up to 82 minutes. They just aren't giving up. But they cannot get anything from this game. They are playing for pride. Now again, back across to the right-hand side. Quick hands. Going to the hands of Hamilton Burr. Back across, getting in Rampling, tries to chip him behind. Southland take it. Is it a mark? Either way, it's going to be put down. And Southland win the Ranfurly Shield. Massive celebrations from the guys who started this game, who now get to run out and celebrate with their team. But 15 points difference. That was a bloke on the field, I think. He decided, bugger it, I'll take the ban. But 25 points to 10 goes Southland. Well deserved, says Nars Williams. Yeah, massive result for the first time since 2011. Sean Withy had a couple crucial turnovers. That one on the 22, that was as close as Waikato got, with the exception of the last couple minutes to get it inside. Oh, the camera's broken. Someone threw the cowbell at it. But what a game for Southland. And in the end, you know, you look at the scoreline and it doesn't even look close. No. And in some reality, it wasn't. Second half, 17 handling errors from Waikato compared to the 3 of Southland. Clinical. Tackling percentage over 90% as well for Southland in this regard. And we have got there Algoldi back in the studio for the breakdown. And also we have there, what a game. Well, awesome for the Stags. Breakdown tonight is going to be fun, says the Lim Report. And well, Southland did well. Great commentary from you and your mum, bless. Says Moa Hunters. And who thought Mills is a damn good rugby commentator. Says the Lim Report. And did a Dougie Howlett wear leggings as well? Maybe. I think you would have paid more attention to his legs than myself, Ruth. And I guess we have got there. Hi, says James. Hello, James. How are you doing? Full time in this match. Southland. I mean, they had a big game. Now they've got to head south and they've got to defend it up against Canterbury, who currently sit top of the table. In this NPC season, they have had 5 wins from 5s with a points differential of 94. Goldie's clapping, Marshall's clapping, Mills Muliaini happy, Stephen Donald's, he's clapping as well. At the end of the day, what can you say when you lose by 15? Any other games you're watching today? The 2 Women's World Cup games later on, but we are going to be scheduling them probably before 7 p.m. But the games are taking place at 1 a.m. between New Zealand and Japan, and then also the other game that is taking place will be South Africa versus Italy. Now that is a must-win for both of those sides, because whoever wins that one will join France in the quarterfinals. And they will face, more than likely, New Zealand in that quarterfinal. So it's not exactly going to be an easy path for whoever goes there. Great commentary. Thank you both. Cheers. Says Steve Lamb. And my God, didn't really want Canterbury to win the Shield. Yeah, now they're going to be in a good position to maybe do it. But that's the thing. If Southland play like this, less than 5 handling errors, clinical in the breakdown, and, they would have made 700 metres or something with ball in hand throughout this game. So if they can do that up against Canterbury, it will be a tough game for the Cantabrians.
Win it for the 8th
time. 8th time that the Shield has headed south. Need to vacuum my house and my cats before next game. So you're vacuuming the cat? Is a cat like that? I think some cats kind of would, depending on the suckage.
Yeah, probably didn't.
What do you mean he didn't? Did you try it?
No, you'd turn the lights on and he'd disappear.
Yeah, he normally went for a bit of a hiding stage and he playing hide and seek. And perfect, I'll catch you up for the next one. Thanks so much. And Hamish's mum says, Vroom Vroom, it's Ray. That's Ruth says, Mole Hunters. Canterbury says, Ruth. Hope the lambs are well. Says Bookbinder. Yeah, I'm sure that they will already be making a little bit of noise. They are very vocal. Anytime someone's in the backyard, they will just shout their heads off. But close game in the Farah Palmer Cup as well for one of the matches. That's the thing. It's been a good round at the NPC, and it's always nice when you finish with a good game because it makes you a bit more excited for next week. The fact that there's only 4 days till counties play North Harbour, that's a bottom of the table clash. Neither side has won a game, and their points differentials are minus 93 and minus 90 or 85. So that should be good.
So someone's going to get a win. Someone has
to win, yeah. Exactly right. That's the positivity that we look for. And then also alongside that, there are other games. Otago versus Northland taking place on Friday night. Hawke's Bay, Wellington, Manawatu, Waikato. Southland, Canterbury. What are we doing with these rules? It overlaps with Argentina versus Australia and Fiji versus Samoa.
Why?
Just because it does. 4:05 p.m. on the Saturday. They've done it earlier so that it doesn't overlap with the All Blacks, but it still overlaps with the Rugby Championship. So we won't be able to cover that one, ladies and gents, but we will be with them in spirit for that contest. It's right there, isn't it? It's right there. Taranaki Bay of Plenty, Tasman, Auckland, the 2 games on Sunday. They'll be decent, those matches. Thanks, says Craig. And thank you guys. Nice to see some families still love and get along. Awesome. Says Nars Williams. Yeah, she doesn't mind me, I don't think.
I've got to say, no, I don't. On live.
Yeah, but that's all right. Can your mum lift the shield? Oh, this is where I really wish I still had the old school. I had a little cardboard cutout
that's right,
of the Ranfurly Shield. What do we got? Do you want a piece of cardboard? There you go. Shield has been lifted. Thank you guys. And also, now we play Canterbury. Yeah, it's not going to be easy. And then if Canterbury win that, actually, that's something that I want to check quickly. Of course, not saying that Southland aren't going to win, but if Canterbury win it, they then have to defend it up against Otago the week after, I think. Yeah, they do. But there is actually a bye week. No, there's not. So that's 20... Wait, how's that work? Okay, so sorry. No, my apologies. Canterbury would have to play Tasman if they were to win it. If Southland win up against Canterbury, they have to face Counties Manukau. Then from there, Tasman, if they won, they would actually face Waikato in 20 days' time. So there is a chance we could see a full circle and then Waikato get it back. And then the next week, luckily for them, they don't have to defend it, but then the week after they would have to defend it up against Northland. So that's where that Tunny Fast bloke was from. He's decided they're doing the full circle and he knew it was going to happen. He's a mind reader. Cows belong in paddocks, not playoffs, is the sign that someone from Southland has. That will go down well. He better run out of the stadium, I would think. We have there, Yacey Southland, and also we got the thanks for those weird, funny sound effects yesterday. Says Roof. No worries whatsoever, Roof. I've got plenty of them.
Good.
What one? You want the explosion? It's quite loud, isn't it?
It is.
But booming.
Train whistle?
Train whistle. Okay, there you go.
Very
Slowly builds.
Yep.
And you can also have that for how Waikato played. Unfortunately today, it just wasn't.
One goes.
See where I get my love of the sound effects from? She's told me to click about 6 of them. This is what happened last night when I had them on the Ball and Shark stream. I started clicking all of them. Yeah. Back to back to back. A lot of cows in Southland. Says dime till death. That's why no one's lonely down there. There's always a cow around the corner. Or a sheep. Or a person. They're all spread out. Why are you making that face? They're all, all the farmland. Yeah. Everyone's separated.
You can take that one or two ways.
Which way would the cow take it? Never mind. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. if you did enjoy, of course, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We are going to be back later on. Do you have a cowbell? Sadly not, but I should get one for these streams.
No.
You don't think? I'll just ring it constantly.
We'll be in the bed and go,
Oh, no, not a real one. The sound effect one.
oh, the sound effect.
No, I wouldn't punish you with a 5 a.m. just ringing it all over the place. But yeah, nonetheless, Women's World Cup coming up later on tonight, ladies and gents, that I will be covering on the channel. I'll be scheduling those within the next kind of 30 minutes or so. Anyone who is new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Big congratulations to Southland yet again. Thoroughly deserved the victory in this contest. Waikato, they will bounce back, and if the draw goes their way, 20 days' time, they'll be trying to take that shield back in this contest. Nice handshake between Sean Withy and Xavier Rowe, who hands over the shield, and it is lifted just like that child is too. Big celebration. Where'd that child go? Oh no, he's in the middle. It's like he's in a rave, isn't it? One of those mosh pits.
Yeah, he's excited.
Yes. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. We'll see you all for the next one.